On screen, a whirlwind of digital effects and rapid cuts now defines the blockbuster landscape. Yet 20 years ago, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings didn't just tell a story, it embodied a forgotten philosophy of filmmaking. This tranquil landscape, the Shire, speaks to a different approach. The central mystery lingers. What was this forgotten philosophy, and why has it been so completely abandoned by modern studios? This diagram illustrates the fundamental divide, a chasm between digital replication and tangible creation. Modern Hollywood, often driven by an IP-first, committee-managed franchise philosophy, increasingly favors the digital. But was this always the path? Here, in archival footage, a young Peter Jackson, animated and passionate, directs actors on a practical set. His Lord of the Rings trilogy operated under an auteur-driven epic philosophy, prioritizing a singular creative vision above all. Look at the intricate craftsmanship of this Minas Tirith bigature. These massive models, built by Weta Workshop, brought Middle-earth to life with a tangible, physical presence rarely seen today. This animated map of Middle-earth reveals the vastness of its world-building. Jackson's philosophy embraced audacious practical craft and a willingness to commit fully to this epic story, transforming New Zealand into a living, breathing fantasy realm. These close-up shots show Weta Workshop artists applying intricate prosthetics, sculpting creatures, and meticulously painting models. This hands-on craftsmanship was central to the visual authenticity of Middle-earth, allowing for genuine textures and weight. Observe the detailed orc costume and makeup here, showcasing a texture and grime that computer-generated imagery often struggles to replicate. This physical presence made the characters feel truly menacing and real. Behind-the-scenes footage reveals the massive scale of Helm's Deep, populated by thousands of extras and real horses, ingeniously using forced perspective. This wasn't rendered. It was built, a testament to practical craftsmanship. This simulated greenlight agreement highlights New Line Cinema's unprecedented decision to fund the entire trilogy up front. It was a massive financial and creative gamble, reflecting a trust in the vision that modern studios rarely show. This animated timeline graphic positions Lord of the Rings at a unique historical juncture. It was released in the early 2000s, bridging an era of practical effects mastery with the emerging digital tools before computer-generated imagery became the default visual solution. This wasn't just a different way of making films, it was a gamble Hollywood seems to have forgotten how to take. Why did they abandon this audacious path? In this stylized reconstruction, we see the sterile studio boardroom of today. Actors portray executives disengaged, focused on laptops, with buzzwords like IP first and committee approval projected. This is the IP first, committee-managed franchise philosophy in action. This simulated studio brand guideline document flips through pages of generic marketing speak and target demographics. Modern studios prioritize established intellectual property, or IP, and manage creative decisions through extensive committees, aiming to mitigate risk. A VFX breakdown shows actors on a green screen, raw CGI elements, and the polished, yet artificial, final shot. This reliance on digital imagery is a stark contrast to the physical artistry seen in Lord of the Rings. Compare that to this LOTR archival footage, a practical set being dressed, actors interacting with physical props, or a large-scale model being manipulated. This tangibility grounded Middle-earth, making it feel undeniably real. This comparison diagram illustrates the fragmentation of creative control. On one side, a complex, fragmented flowchart for modern film production, rife with executives. On the other, the simpler, director-led process of Lord of the Rings. Too many cooks, it seems, can dilute a singular artistic vision. We see here a visually impressive yet generic CGI alien landscape from a modern film, lacking unique character. This can often be attributed to studio agendas or mandated thematic checkboxes, superseding organic storytelling and leading to forced narratives. Contrast that with the intricate elven architecture of Rivendell seen here, seamlessly integrated into its natural surroundings, conveying a deep sense of history and culture. This authenticity was paramount to Jackson's vision. These simulated casting call sheets reveal the phenomenon of soft casting. One side shows generic marketable faces for a modern role. The other displays character-rich faces for Lord of the Rings. Modern casting often prioritizes marketability over raw acting talent, impacting performance depth. A close-up shows a cinema screen displaying an over-CGI blockbuster. But in the audience member's eyes, we see boredom. This systematic, safety-first approach creates a palpable sameness and a diluted sense of wonder that viewers instinctively detect. This shift was presented as progress, more efficient, safer. But what if the very things they sought to improve were the soul of cinematic magic? An aerial drone shot reveals the untouched New Zealand landscape that became Middle-earth. The critical elements missing from modern blockbusters are clear: a singular creative courage, authentic narrative depth, and a willingness to embrace artistic risk over commercial algorithms. Here, Peter Jackson discusses a scene with intense focus, surrounded by concept art. This footage shows the genuine collaborative creative energy that defines a vision from concept to screen, a driving force behind the authentic storytelling. This animated map details Gondor's history, culture, and landmarks. Contrast this meticulous world building with often shallow, inconsistent lore in modern franchises. Lord of the Rings built a universe, not just a brand. The world-building depth graphic reinforces this difference. LOTR's side shows layers of history and culture, while the modern side reveals thin, superficial brand elements. Where one offers immersion, the other often provides only recognition. Observe this lone, generic CGI character in an equally generic environment. The safe IP-first, committee-driven approach, designed to minimize risk, paradoxically often leads to critical panning and commercial underperformance. Audiences detect the lack of passion. This comparison chart clearly shows Lord of the Rings' enduring cultural impact and long-term merchandise sales. This stands in stark contrast to the fleeting box office success and rapid cultural fade of many modern blockbusters, designed for immediate but ultimately forgettable consumption. A solitary artist sketches intently, surrounded by physical models and traditional tools. As studios continue to prioritize formula and control, the very essence of innovative, boundary-pushing cinema is at stake. A hand gently touches an intricately detailed, handcrafted miniature model. This tangible connection between artist and creation speaks volumes. The art of filmmaking itself faces a critical inflection point. This iconic shot of the Fellowship walking across a vast, beautiful landscape symbolizes a shared journey and enduring adventure. As Hollywood continues down its current path, are we trading timeless epics for fleeting spectacles? And at what ultimate cost to the art of cinema? What will be cinema's next journey?